Hi guys, this is Warren Herman, and today we're going to talk about some guidelines to have a healthy experience and an orderly experience while doing healing prayer for other people. There's various things we could talk about of how you should pray, what kind of words you should use, but this video is going to be some guidelines, an overall presentation, some broad principles, not necessarily the nitty-gritty of exactly what to say or how to do it. This is going to be really important because you want to do things in an orderly way. This first idea, you want to have this principle of grace builds upon nature. You don't want to be chasing people down in a weird way. You want it to flow naturally from conversation. So you want to have a conversation with people first that's natural, that makes sense. You don't want to necessarily shock people or do something strange or run up to people and chase them down, in a way that's weird. If there might be some situations where that could be appropriate, if you really feel God leading you to do that. But for the most part, you want to have grace build upon nature. You want to have a nice conversation with people that's just normal and they understanding what's going on in their life. And then when you talk to them about what's going on in their life, they'll say like, okay, well, how are you doing? Is there anything I can pray for? Also, is there any situation I can pray for? It's very simple. You don't have to. And then if they say yes, say, oh, well, do you have anything? You can pray for something in their life, and then you also can pray, say, oh, you have anything physical going on. If they have something physical going on, you can pray for that. So it's one thing leading to another. Another thing that's very important is that you don't want there to be, you don't want things to become disorderly. So John Michael Talbot says sometimes we are excited, not anointed. And so the thing is, we don't need to do anything theatrical. We don't want to draw attention to ourselves when we're doing something like that, pray for others. We don't want to do something that is attention getting. We want to be very low key about it. We don't want to wave our hands, scream and shout. It's just very orderly. That's what we want in general. Obviously, there are some times when somebody might cry or, there might be something where the person experiences something really positive. That's really good, But the thing is really, it's just to have that order in that, so that we're not intending to create a scene or draw attention to ourselves. That's very important. We want to be very simple in how we approach people. That's an important thing. Another thing when praying for people, so is that orderly element. Another thing is prudence. And prudence is like knowing when it's the right time. So, for example, if you pray to God, say, God, what can I say to this person? And God happens to give you some type of an inspiration. You'd say, maybe it's not a good idea to say, God told me this about you. You can kind of, you might rather say something like, well, what does this mean to you? Or, what I wonder about? I wonder if, what would this, you just kind of disguise it. Because, unless there's some real reason to say, I feel like God is saying this, you don't need to draw attention to how God is helping you. Just like God help you, help other people in a low-key way. Unless there's some reason, prudently, that why you think the person should know this. Like, sometimes, so let's say somebody feels like God doesn't know anything about them, and you get a really inspiring idea about it. You say, well, I feel like God told me that about you, because He knows about you and He loves you and cares about you. That would be prudent. That would make sense for a ministry purpose, But just willy-nilly being like, I think God is saying this to you. Maybe that's not the best idea always. Another thing that is really important is to remember two things: that healing and holiness are not the same thing. God is very generous. God is very generous in His ability to heal. But healing is not the thing that you want to chase after. You want to chase after holiness and devotion to God. You want to be promoting devotion. You want to be promoting the glory of God. You don't want to just be trying to necessarily multiply miracles. That's something you want to be promoting. So, for example, a Venerable Leo Dupont did all kinds of miracles. The thing he was doing was promoting, but the thing was about devotion to the Holy Face. It was about reparation. And so the thing is, we want to keep devotion at the core of what miracles or whatever kind of things we see. We don't want to emphasize the miracles. We want to emphasize the one who does the miracles. And it's all about drawing people into devotion. And the other thing is really about holiness. We want to be prudent. We don't want to overemphasize the miraculous healings and all that stuff, and underemphasize going to Mass, praying, encouraging people to pray and be holy. because holiness and healing are not exactly linked. They're not like, it's not like, oh, I'm holy, therefore I heal. No, God heals when we trust him, and is very generous to us, and he heals out of his mercy. It's not because he doesn't heal out of justice. It's like, oh, I'm so great that we can heal. So the thing is to encourage people. The primary act is not the miracles. The primary act is getting people to really be devoted to God. Because the thing is, the miracles are signs of the kingdom, but the whole thing is to be subjects of the king. Maybe the miracle may announce, oh, the king is here, but the thing is, the most important thing is that you really have it, allegiance to the king. So those are some different ideas there that can really help with these things.